Gabriel, hi. Let's take a look at your ninth and 10th essays. Here we've got the map of the island. Let's see what you wrote here. The illustration shows an island before and after the construction of new facilities and services. The information is presented in a graphical scale of 100 meters. Okay, very nice. Overall, it can be seen that almost the entire island was modified after the project was in place. Therefore, the project added facilities required to fill the island with inhabitants and tourists from abroad. Okay, well, tourists is with an O-U, yes. You can't really say tourists from abroad. You don't know that. It could just be tourists from that country. So don't don't draw conclusions that are not written here on the map for you. I also I kind of want to reread this because I don't love the choice of the word therefore here. Let's look at it one more time. Overall, it can be seen that almost the entire island was modified after the project was in place. More specifically, the project added the facilities required to fill the island with inhabitants and tourists from abroad. That's what you want. It's not a therefore, but it's actually just being more specific and giving a little further information. So, before you mean the TH, before the project was implemented, the island was presented as an empty field surrounded, careful with your spelling, by the sea with a beach and some trees across the land. Okay, fine. Okay. After the construction was done, a set of accommodation houses are seen next to the beach. Careful, we don't really call them accommodation houses, or a set of accommodation houses more specifically. You could have said that accommodation in the form of multiple houses. Okay. Are seen next to the beach. That's fine. You could also say that they extend from the north to the south of the island. Okay. And they are close to the western beach, the western edge of the island. Let's see. The center of the island was covered by new commercial services such as a mall, a hotel, careful because the H is pronounced, so it's a hotel, and a cafe. Actually, I think it's a mall, a hotel, and a restaurant, if I'm not mistaken. It can also be seen that car roads were implemented along with a footpath that connects every new construction. Notably, a brand new pier and artificial lake were built. This should be with a T as new attractions. Finally, it should be mentioned that just the top right corner of the island was left exactly as it was before the project. All right, that's okay. It would have been nice if you had mentioned that specifically those were trees. You didn't mention that any of those trees were cut down, so that would have been probably a good thing to mention since you got specific here. But yeah, I thought you did a nice job of this. You mentioned all the key points. I think you know what you didn't do. You didn't talk about this accommodation here. That's kind of major. I mean, you've got this, but you never talked about this. You just talked about the footpaths and the car roads. You said every new construction, but it wasn't really clear that you were referring to this kind of circular formation of houses. And that would have been an important thing to include here. In fact, I think it's a little more important than maybe, I don't know, maybe mentioning some of those trees. You mentioned everything else that was important, but I do think you really should have mentioned that. That's the kind of thing that would probably reduce your task achievement a little bit. Okay, just because it is such a prominent feature of this map. But like I said, on the whole, I thought you did really, really well. So I want to take a look at your task 2 here about green energy. Let's see what you wrote. Since global warming since global warming is hitting, what happened to your T? You're missing a T here, so you need a double T. Since global warming is hitting most of the world, or most parts with a S of the world, new debates are in place. All right, this sentence is a little awkward. We don't really say, oh, there is a debate in place. There are other more natural ways to express exactly what you're trying to say. So, since global warming is hitting most parts of the world, new debates have been created, okay? Or new debates have arisen. That would have been a better way of expressing this. In this context, sustainable energy is gaining popularity in developed and developing nations. Careful with your spelling again. While some people believe that green energy is the only suitable way, some others think that they are not compelling enough to ensure the energy supply. Personally, I believe that green energy should be the main source of energy in the next decades. Okay, yes. My one concern here, I like that you mentioned this, you're not they don't ensure the energy supply, but you didn't mention anything about them being environmentally more friendly as well as being more economical. So those are important elements to mention here. Okay. So I would have liked to have seen those in your introduction. Let's move on. On one hand, there are several reasons that support green energy as the prevalent source of energy for the future. To begin with, it has to be said that climate change is real and it is causing turmoil all around the world. There is scientific evidence that proves that the use of fossil fuels is one of the key factors in the global temperature. Careful with your spelling. Temperature rise and what happened here is one of the key factors in the global temperature rise and the reason why these non-renewable sources must be replaced in order to stop the ongoing crisis. Okay. In addition, the progress of technology has allowed the introduction of new affordable ways of energy production with notably less carbon footprint in comparison with old-fashioned industries such as coal or oil. For example, a study by the UK government stands that I don't think you mean stands. I think you want to say reports, perhaps, or states that wind or solar energy combined could replace coal in the next 20 years by less than a half of the no, with less than a half of the operational expenses. Therefore, it is clear that a change is needed in order to prevent a major overall disaster. Okay, here you covered money, you covered um you covered green energy and environment, so I think you did a good job of that. Fine. On the other hand, there are people that believe that green energy is not ready to replace the traditional energy plants because the short term costs of research and implementation of green plants would be astronomical. Hence, green energy could create major economic issues, especially in developing countries, which are not capable of affording ing after a preposition the change of their energy matrix. However, a study conducted by Oxford University revealed, careful, you don't mean revelated, revealed, that the long term impact of climate change could have devastating effects in the economy that could definitely, careful with your spelling, overcome the investment required to shift to sustainable energy. Therefore, okay, therefore, as a major as a major global issue, wealthy, careful with your spelling, countries are called to economically support poor countries. All right. You talk about when we talk about energy security, there are a couple of different ways that we mean it. We mean, of course, the ability to supply energy at an affordable cost. So that's one point of it. The other point is regarding the supply and if there is enough supply of the said energy. You didn't really cover that. And I think that that's kind of the important feature here that, maybe there wouldn't be enough energy to supply all the needs that the world has. Okay. So I would have wanted to see this element included here in this essay. Let's continue though. To conclude, I strongly believe that green energy is the most safe way, not the most safe way, the safest, that's the right way to say this, is the safest way to face new challenges as humanity. It is predicted that the debate of international economic collaboration will be increasingly in importance in the future. All right, there's some awkwardness here. Let's look at this again. I want to kind of rewrite this. To conclude, I strongly believe that green energy is the safest ways to face new energy challenges, full stop. It is predicted that the debate of international economic collaboration will be of increasing importance in the future. All right, that's the way to do it. All right, so yes, I like a lot of this, clearly, but there were some things that I thought took away from this being a really, really high level, top notch essay. Was it a good essay? Yes. Was it a very good essay? Yes, it was very good. Like I said, I know that throughout the course you've written some essays that were really just so strong and just really exceptional. And so I've kind of become used to seeing you write like that. This was missing, as I said, a couple of key features here that I thought were important. And as I already mentioned, your task one was missing that whole section of houses. So there were some flaws that make it still very good, but it wasn't like, top two band levels. Let's put it like that. In any case, we are at the end of your essay. We are at the end of the course. We are, we've just completed your last set of essays. I'm not really sure if you mentioned, I can't remember if you mentioned when you're going to take your test, but if you've got a little time and you'd like to continue getting feedback from us, then see if you can sign up for some more essay corrections. There'll be a link in the email with this video. So hopefully we can continue working with you. We can help you get to that really upper echelon of essays. I'm very confident that you can get there. So hopefully we can do it together. Okay? Best of luck. Let us know what you decide to do. And if you do take the exam, please, please, please let us know how it goes. And just keep in touch, okay? Let us know what you decide to do. Good luck.